His strength shall be hunger-bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. It shall devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. It shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. Job 18:12-15. See in Job's words the plight of the unawakened imagination. Hunger-bitten strength is your creative power starved by doubt. Destruction crouches at your side whenever you forget that God's dwelling is your own awareness. That firstborn of death that devours your skin is nothing other than the grave of unexpressed possibility, your buried Christ. Your confidence, once rooted in I am, has been torn from its tabernacle and led before the king of terrors. That king is fear, the phantom of death you have made real by giving it attention. Brimstone scatters upon your habitation when you allow mental fire to burn in the wrong direction, consumed by worry, unable to build the world you desire. But this scripture hides a promise. Every tomb contains the seed of resurrection. The tabernacle is your body of flesh and blood, the temporary cross you took to forget your glory. It seems none of your own because you chose amnesia. Yet within that very grave lies the Christ, waiting for the storm wind of realization to awaken him. When he rises, brimstone turns to refining fire, consuming only the old self and transmuting shadow into substance. Know this, destruction is but a midwife to creation. The devouring strength of skin is the crucifixion of your old identity. From that death springs the risen Christ, the creative imagination unbound. Your task is simple. Enter the shadow of your desire as though it were already the room you occupy. Dwell in that state and watch confidence return to your tabernacle, fear bow before your name, and the scattered stones of your life reassemble into a divine temple. In that moment, Job's terror vanishes, for you stand as the living I am. In this psychological reading, hunger-bitten strength reveals a consciousness that has been starved of faith and inner nourishment, a soul craving the very substance of belief. As you turn your attention to the notion of destruction ready at his side, you begin to sense the ever-present fear or doubt that shadows your self-worth, like a silent companion waiting to undermine your confidence. When the text speaks of the firstborn of death, it names that primal terror born of accepting limitation as the ultimate reality, a fear that thrives whenever you give power to boundaries you imagine. Finally, the image of the tabernacle invites you to see your mind as an inner dwelling place. When confidence is uprooted, this sacred abode lies in ruin, reminding you how essential it is to nourish faith at every turn. Imagination is the very engine of creation, and when you dwell on negative images, you unknowingly feed an inner devourer that makes lack a living reality. Every scene you nurture within your mind becomes the blueprint for your outer experience, so that when fear governs your thoughts, it calls in destruction and terror as if by invitation. In contrast, confidence, your inner authority, shields you from those dark projections, denying them any power to shape your world. Yet whenever that confidence wavers, you slip into unconscious surrender and empower exactly the forces you once feared. Steady, then, your faith in the creative power of your imagination, for it is through this unwavering conviction that you guide the unfolding of your reality. Begin by recognizing that you possess the power to reverse the script of your own mind, for your imagination can be gently directed to starve fear rather than feed it. At the same time, the very mechanism that once made doubt grow can be turned around to amplify assurance, love, and creative insight. As this realization unfolds, it becomes clear that confidence does not arrive as an external gift, but springs forth from within, whenever you deliberately imagine your desired state as already true. By sustaining that inner vision with care and consistency, you open the wellspring of conviction that guides you into the life you so deeply long for. Begin by noticing the hunger you feel, whether it is a lack of money, love, or health, and write it down as a way of bringing that inner longing into the light. As you prepare for sleep, Gently shift the mental scene by imagining yourself already fulfilled, safe, and overflowing with abundance, allowing a sense of relaxed strength to settle throughout your body. Then, whenever doubt begins to creep in during the day, pause and take a deep breath, replaying the nourishing scene in place of the fearful one. Through this daily practice of inner performances, your mind will gradually accept these imagined experiences as reality, and this new inner environment will become your true tabernacle, secure against the storms of fear. By recognizing that Job's vivid language simply dramatizes how thoughts can consume our power, you reclaim that power by deliberately choosing constructive, heartfelt imaginings. What once seemed a prophecy of ruin transforms into a manual for restoration, and in the sacred theater of your mind you are both playwright and star, casting a life of inspired creation.